So unfortunately my damn camera that was recording memory was full, so I stopped recording. I didn't hear it, but let me show you quick how to I already took the pistons out, but I left one in place just so I can show you how to remove the pistons out with the rods on and all. This one doesn't have any rings. I had to put it back just so I can make the video. Take the cap off and just push it. It usually just comes out, even though this one doesn't have any rings, but that's just how you remove them. I cleaned this one up and I just couldn't believe how clean it is. So I'm gonna be reusing these pistons. If the other three turn out to be this, like in this condition, at some point this one something fell in through the, usually when people change the spark plugs, something gets in there, and so far everything looks good. Put the new piston rings. We'll be reusing this one. Make sure the cap goes back. I mean, look at the condition of these rods, these bearings. Everything's so nice. This came out of a car with 65,000 miles, YUGO engine. A lot of people didn't even believe these cars can go that far, but this is a really nice shape of pistons, no scoring. So when you put the bearings in, make sure there's a notch, a cap, and the rod has a notch that you put in a bearing, so make sure that lines up. It's just the opposite. I mean, it's next to each other pretty much, so that's how it goes together. But I'll explain that once I start putting the engine together. And then so when I had these pistons down, I marked it. I usually just get something sharp, just mark that goes. And if you see, there's a numbers on the side as well, so you don't mix them up. So that being number one, each of them have numbers on the side. So this is a number two. With number two, if you flip them around, there's no numbers to match, so that's nice. Not many rods actually have these numbers, but this one have it. So you can mix up this cap with another rod. They're all numbered, so you can't mess it up. That's nice. And then you have your caps, main bearing caps. There's 5 of these. I usually just scratch number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, so I know where they go back together like they should. This is, I believe, a 15. I lied, 16 mil socket. Yeah, these are loose too, so I just put them back together when I realized that my camera stopped recording. Yeah, you have 5 main bearing caps. Move that. And yeah, these bearings are just clean. Guy owned this car since it was brand new. I mean, they all look pretty much new, but we'll be polishing the crank, putting new bearings, new piston rings, new oil pump. We'll be cleaning up the pistons, so we'll be reusing them. But then I'll send the head to the machine shop, get that resurfaced. I'll put the new valve seals. Yeah, this one usually kind of, there you go. Yeah, that's just for what it is, for people calling it the worst cars in history. These engines are built really good and they last long. And then you have your, I already got these bolts all loose. This is your front main seal. They call it front main seal. That's where the #1 piston is and where your timing belt is. I'm gonna make sure my camera has enough memory when I decide to put the engine together. And there's your front main seal. We'll be replacing that new as well. I usually put the bolts next to the part that I take off. Then you have your rear main seal. If you're in the States and if you're using one of these engine stands, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to these back bolts. So a little wrench, slowly you can just take them off and just slide it off. That crankshaft should be able to come out now. Look at that. Here's your crankshaft. It's all nice and beautiful. Just I'll send this to the machine shop, have them polish it, and I can use standard size bearings. This is the heart of the engine. And pretty much that's your YUGO FIAT engine, 1300 cc. Just pulling one of these bearings out. Show you the condition of it. There's barely any scratches. Still looks almost new. And yeah, that's that. I'm gonna be honing these cylinders. Once I clean them up, I'll check for any scoring. So far I haven't seen anything. They look amazing. So I'll be sending this to the machine shop, have it hot water tank cleaned up, remove every single piece. Then once they get back, I'll be honing the cylinders. I want to actually check. I might even have them, probably do that. I'll have them deck the block and resurface the head. So once I put the head back on, I'll make just to make sure it's nice, even, flat. Doesn't cost much. I mean, it's just to be safe. That way the head gasket doesn't pop up again. This one, just the coolant was bad inside, and you know, this car set. It has 65,000 miles, but it was sitting for last 10 years, I think. And if you look, all these water passages are, it's not supposed to, it's supposed to be perfectly flat. It's just that coolant was bad, and it's pretty much falling apart just because the way, yeah. It's not supposed to be this big of a hole here, but no rings were damaged. It's holding compression. It was spinning fine. It'll be a good engine once I'm done with it. So that's it for taking it apart, pretty much.